When you can hear a pin drop in a presentation to a group of 7-8 students, you know you definitely have something special. And in Aubrey, that is the something special.
Some of the training we get as principals is so dumb. We need you to do our next principal conference.
Just finished up at the Ontario Principals Council, and boy, what a time that was. Got to speak to all the principals and vice principals, elementary and secondary.
He really blew me away, to be honest. He was able to connect with the students and bring out a lot of love and laughter and a connectivity that was that I hadn't seen in a very long time, and it really did warm my heart.
Aubrey is an extremely reflective, compassionate educator. He's a great orator and really connects with people.
I actually enjoyed the speech and didn't even go on my phone once, and that's kind of a big deal from a 16-year-old.
Aubrey is an unbelievable safe school speaker. His message of hope is contagious. He's very inspirational, and teenagers really relate well to him.
Just a fantastic individual, a caring and kind human being who has a wonderful message to share with students and staff.
His approach with students is amazing. He is so passionate, you can see it, and he's also so engaging. Our students, every single time I look at them, every eyes are on him.
My students are still quoting Aubrey to this day, and it's been almost a whole year since he was in our school, so the impact he has had on our students and staff is completely unmatched.
I honestly think this is one of the best school presentations that I have ever attended in my 20 plus years of teaching.
Aubrey came to speak to our students and our staff with his presentations Colorblind and Stick with the Truth, and they made me feel seen as an educator of color, and they also made me feel like we were putting emphasis on these life conversations about equity and inclusion.
So it's actually kind of funny because I was planning to not sit through the whole presentation, so I sat at the back of the audience, and my back I blew out a few days before. So I was going to sit there for a little bit just to show up and then find a place to go sit down and kind of lay down on a bench somewhere. And you did such a great job that I sat there on the edge of my seat with my blown out back, but I just didn't want to miss any of it. And then it was in that moment that I decided, I messaged my principal and we booked him right then and there to come to our school.
His words sparked meaningful conversations, and many of us left feeling motivated and implemented the strategies he fostered for a more supportive, anti-racist school culture.
Before Aubrey's staff meeting presentation, I presumed it was going to be a type of monologue talk regarding statistics from someone that had no relevance to my life. I was completely wrong. Aubrey was unscripted, talked from the heart, and was a dynamic person that spoke in a simple manner that was relevant and allowed me to leave the presentation feeling humble and hopeful.
The simple phrase he used of "What's up, family?" was so powerful and resonated deeply with the kids. This too has continued in the hallways in the weeks since the presentation.
The first thing that I noticed about his style is he has such an amazing way of connecting to his audience and creating this sense of community and trust, which allows us to have difficult conversations in a safe space that really kind of centers around humanity and what it means to be human.
The one thing that resonated with me right away was the impactfulness of what he was saying and how he had the students joining in the conversation. He had them listening, he had them loving what he was saying, which is really important with kids these days, especially with their short attention spans.
The best thing I can say about Aubrey Noronha is that he makes talking about uncomfortable things easy.
My students leave his presentations feeling uplifted, enthused, but most importantly, educated.
Aubrey is an exceptional speaker and change maker within the community. Not only does he help students redefine and expand on what a man can be like, but breaks down toxic male standards, all within an hour.
I found it remarkable how ridiculously warm and engaging and relaxed you were. while speaking and staring into a faceless void of an audience. That's a gift. Felt like you'd be exactly the same if we were chatting together in my living room. A rare quality.
Mr. Noronha explained what racism is and what it isn't, how racism connects to all of our lives here at St. Cyril, and he inspired all students to care about this topic matter and become invested in it.
Aubrey is a gifted entertainer and educator, and he combines these talents in highly effective ways to communicate his message. It really was amazing to watch him hold the attention and wonder of our youngest students for a whole hour during the morning session, and then to see him switch gears at the end of the day to engage staff in deeply reflective and personal learning.
With his combination of heartfelt storytelling, practical wisdom, and engaging delivery, Aubrey invited us to reflect on our own journeys and gave us the tools to be part of the solution.
Never before have I attended an assembly and a professional development where I watched a countdown timer and wished it would slow down. Aubrey, you brought so much heart to all your talks today and touched us all.
We always talk about our early intervention is where everything should start. Aubrey's presentation is phenomenal. It opens up that dialogue. It gets kids thinking, and it makes Black kids feel important, feel seen, and have those questions they need to be asked.
I have to say that his presentation and his ability to connect with students is truly remarkable. He spoke to all three of our divisions, K to 8, changing and adapting his message to fit each group of students. He found ways to engage all students with his message about why being not racist isn't enough. Students are still talking about his visit and are asking for when he will come back and do Colorblind 2.0.
What really stood out to me in this presentation was Aubrey's ability to reach every staff member, regardless of where they were on their learning experience.
Truthfully, it's the longest they've ever sat without having to use the bathroom, and they were more engaged than I can even imagine. So it was just overall totally awesome.
I highly recommend inviting Aubrey to speak to your community. His message about kindness is just, it's vital, and it's kind of what we're all about in education. So I would highly recommend bringing Aubrey in.
I'm quite emotional still because the presentation just happened. That it's again that understanding that we all are part of the same family. If we believe that, then when somebody is suffering, then we have a feeling of that as well.
He has this remarkable ability to tailor his messaging to the needs of his audience to ensure that everyone is engaged.
He brings tough topics to the audience in a very developmentally appropriate way, from being the funny guy with the little ones to being the more serious speaker about the very serious and real topics that affect all of us when he spoke to our older students, and then again with our staff.
So we had him come to our very first staff meeting, and he did a session called Reconnect. And I gotta say, I didn't see so many smiles and in the room conversation until he had spoken at the end of our staff meeting. And I really did notice a difference